Welcome to the show, guys. I got a super exciting one here for you and one of my favorite episodes of the offseason, and we are talking about the top 10 running backs for Fantasy Football 2023, the non-consensus rankings. I'm going to lay out the top 10 running backs that you should be looking for early in your drafts, break it down to the players I like, going from 10 all the way to 1. So buckle up, grab a drink, whatever beverage you like, whatever drink you like. If you're in the car, chill out, relax. We're going to dive in. We're going to talk about everybody's favorite topic, and that is running backs. And particularly for Fantasy Football 2023, it's going to be an exciting one here for you right now. If you're new to the channel, smash a thumbs up. And in the comments below, we want to make this super interactive, guys. When I say interactive, means guys, use your thumbs, fingers, and comment below. Let me know which running back you love for Fantasy Football 2023. Who are you drafting in rounds 1 and 2? Let me know. Love to hear your feedback, all right? Now, I've got something exciting for you guys. I'm going to show you something you may have never seen before. Buckle up. This is super exciting. I'm going to give you guys a gift. It's a gift from me to you. Head on over to fandraft.com/FFC, guys. This is amazing. FanDraft is a digital, guys, alternative to those sticky draft boards. Remember those draft boards used to, the names would fall off? This is a modern experience, guys. Head over there right now, and this is going to be amazing for your in-person draft. So if you're a commissioner, you guys need to go right now and sign up. Use code FFC10 and secure a pro account right now. Guys, you get multiple board displays, custom logos, team walk-up songs, a customizable draft clock, streaming pick timer, voice announcer, and so much more. Guys, you get a digital draft board. Right now, guys, go experience it. fandraft.com/FFC. Go create an account. The code you want to use is FFC10 to save $10 on a 2023 FanDraft Pro account. Guys, go do that right now. fandraft.com/FFC. And it's going to be super cool, guys. You get to make your draft experience interactive. Now, if you're online, you can use it as well. So go do that right now. fandraft.com/FFC, code FFC10. All right, so let's dive into these running backs. Oh, yeah, and if you haven't gotten 16 rounds, secure the solution as well. I've linked it below. And I'm telling you guys are going to crush your leagues. Use code SMASH. All I got to say is just click on the link below or head on over to thefantasyfootballcast.com. Watch the video. You'll be light years out of the competition. Use code SMASH to save on 16 rounds. Secure the solution. Secure the championship. All right, I got a lot of energy here going in this. We are talking top 10 running backs, okay? I'm going to go 10 down to 1. And again, this is not your grandma's consensus list. What happens every year is they say last year's top finishers, these are the guys on top. They're going to finish in that same order. It doesn't work like that. And I'm going to tell you guys, it doesn't work like that. We saw it last year with Jonathan Taylor. Had a pinnacle year in 2021, busted in 2022. Dalvin Cook was a top guy last year. DeAndre Swift was a top 8 pick in PPR amongst the consensus. And I told you to avoid Dalvin Cook. I told you to avoid DeAndre Swift. I told you to go for a guy like Henry round 1 and get Saquon round 2. Now Saquon, everybody's riding the Saquon train. Okay? So we're going to talk about the top 10 running backs. This is not consensus. So don't tell me CMC is not number 1. Obviously, he's not number 1. He's not going to finish number 1. Okay? So stick with me. We're going to walk through this. And again, all the answers are in the 16-round draft solution. All right? That's where everything is, because you got to know rankings don't matter. It's where you draft these players. It's the optimal player drafted each round, omitting players that I won't draft. Now, the first guy here, let's go through this, okay? Let's talk about this. Now, the first guy I've got here is Austin Eckler coming at number 10. This guy is currently sitting number 2 in PPR. Let's talk about Austin Eckler. Joe Lombardi's gone. New offensive coordinator comes in. They spent the first-round pick on Quentin Johnston, one of the top wide receiver prospects, okay? Stick with me. Follow the narrative and follow the story here. Austin Eckler is a product and was a product of the offense and the checkdowns that Joe Lombardi was forcing upon Justin Herbert, who is now in a contract year and has to throw down the field. Guys, I can't express this enough to you that they're going to be throwing down the field. We had Keenan Allen banged up last year. He played, 11 games, something like that. Mike Williams was banged up. And Keenan Allen is old. He's older than dirt, that guy. He is old. He's washed, okay? Keenan Allen's done, okay? I don't care what anybody says. He is on the sunset, twilight years of his career. Now you got Quentin Johnston here, who I like as a sleeper. they're going to be throwing. Let's say Keenan Allen is healthy. He, Mike Williams, they're going to be throwing to Quentin Johnston, right? Herbert's in a contract year. Austin Eckler doesn't have Lombardi. Eckler had 127 targets, I believe, for 107 receptions, guys. 722 yards, 13 touchdowns on the ground. That won't happen again. The reason I got him here at top 10, okay, is for the fact that the Chargers did not acquire another running back. He is still set to be a workhorse. Now, mind you, again, if healthy, still could be a viable guy. I got him in the top 10. I'm not drafting him. I'm not paying a top 3 pick on Eckler. No way. He's not a full true workhorse running back. He can't run 1,000 yards rushing to save his life. But I had to put him here because they only got Kelly there. Josh Kelly, he didn't surpass him last year. But understand there will be a significant decline for Austin Eckler this year. And that's saying he stays healthy. He's been almost perfect the past couple of years. Decline is imminent, and he's way too expensive. Again, he's sitting second on the consensus rankings. I got him at 10. Again, I'm not drafting him, but I got to put him in here just because of the situation. It's optimal for him. He could thrive this year, could have a good year yet again because they didn't draft someone else. They paid him, I think, $2 million to stay on the team. Obviously, the Chargers don't believe in the 28-year-old because they didn't pay him a mega contract, and that's what he wants. So, number 10, I got Austin Eckler here, but am I excited about him? No, but you're going to have to pay for him a second overall pick, third overall pick if you want, maybe first overall pick. That's way too expensive to a guy who was a backup to Melvin Gordon for years, and he's just not a true workhorse running back. He got lucky, and he's a product of the situation. I'm not sold on Austin Eckler, okay? Coming at number 9, who's currently sitting number 1. I told you this is not consensus. This is not consensus rankings. If you want consensus rankings, go follow the sheep. This is not a sheep podcast, everybody. And again, secure the 16-round draft solution where you get all the optimal players drafted each round, omitting the potential bust. Last year, if you got 16 rounds, you were aware that Taylor's going to decline significantly, and you got yourself a Saquon Barkley in round 2, and you got the value, and you were a very happy person. Get 16 rounds, guys. Write down. Again, use that code SMASH to dominate. I've linked it below. All right? So, number 9 here, I got Christian McCaffrey. I got to put him in here again, another guy who's in a good situation. But I want to make a note here, okay? He had 244 attempts last year, 1,139 yards on the ground, 4.7 yards per carry, 8 touchdowns, a ton of receptions. I think 85 receptions, 741 yards. He got it done. But understand this very good, that Elijah Mitchell, the workhorse guy last year, the year before, 2021, was the workhorse on the 49ers, had in 2021, 207 attempts. Mitchell is a workhorse in his own right and only played 5 games last year. Guess what? He's still on the team, meaning he's going to get worked more this year. Now, obviously, CMC is the starter, but to draft CMC first overall, a guy, CMC, that only played 10 games in the 2020 and 2021 season combined, so he's injury prone, and he's not a young guy. He's been paid, he's been incentivized, and he's on a team that gets hurt a lot. I warn you, heed my warning, guys, that CMC will get hurt. It's just a matter of time. Joe, you can't predict injuries. Yes, but historically and probability-wise, and what we're seeing from the 49ers is an injury-prone team with running backs historically, and Christian McCaffrey is an injury-prone player, played 10 games in 2 seasons, has shown us that he's not a durable guy. Last year, yes, he finished, but that was his anomaly. That was his possible last hurrah. Either way, give me CMC in the 3rd or 4th round as my RB3 maybe, but not your 1st or 2nd overall player. But I got him here in the 9 simply because of the situation he's in, simply because he's primed for volume. He could still be solid, but I'm not drafting him. Again, understand how I do my rankings. I don't even do rankings. I'm doing this for entertainment purposes. What I would do in 16 rounds, I would fade Christian McCaffrey completely and go for some of my other guys that I'm recommending here early, okay? So I'm fading CMC, but I got to include him in the top 10 because of the situation that he's in. And when you look at a top 10 running back, you got to look at a running back that's prime for, talent, opportunity, the cutting system, consistency, upside, durability, depth, and youth. Durability lacks here, but he's got the, on the depth chart, yeah, he's high. Youth, not the youngest, right? So I look at all of these variables, guys, when I'm looking at running back. So CMC, I got him at 9 simply because he's in a good situation. I need a shot of water here real quick. When you're coming in with this much energy, you need that shot of water. Okay. Number 8 here. Now, I'm not excited about this guy at all. He was a 3rd round pick for years, okay? Years to wow us, we're not really wowed. He was a mediocre running back. He had a contract year. I think he just got paid a little bit. He didn't get his mega contract. But Josh Jacobs coming in at number 8. He was 2nd in attempts last year, which is really appealing to me when I look at a running back. I want volume. I want the opportunities. 340 attempts, 1,653 yards, 4.9 yards per carry, 12 touchdowns, 53 receptions, and all he's got to compete with is Zamir White. He's got an opportunity to succeed, but understand the quarterback situation is different now, and understand that he came off a pinnacle year. I'm not paying for Josh Jacobs. If you want to pay an early draft capital for him, go ahead and do so. I'm not doing it. And just because I have these guys in a particular order doesn't mean I'm drafting them based on how I've got them ranked, okay? This is not consensus. I keep having to remind people, okay? But Josh Jacobs, based on last year, based on still an opportunity to thrive. Again, CMC, Austin Eckler, and Josh Jacobs made it out of the draft unscathed. They didn't acquire, the teams did not acquire someone that's going to really compete with them. Obviously, Mitchell's going to be a factor with CMC. We're fully healthy. Eckler didn't have any competition, and Jacobs, again, no competition. That is why they're in the top 10. Could they finish outside the top 10? Very possible. I'm not really sold on these guys having pinnacle years again. I believe they've had their last hurrahs, but either way, Josh Jacobs here in an opportunity. A guy that I was getting in the 3rd round for years, I'm not going to pay earlier draft capital just because he had one pinnacle year, but I got to put him in the top 10 based on situation, okay? Now, the next guys, number 7 and on, these are guys I may consider really actually drafting. I'm really excited about, okay? Number 7, I got Dameon Pierce here. Now, just because I got him 7 does not mean that I wouldn't draft him, he's coming off ahead of CMC or anything like that. I got him because I believe he can finish as a top 10. So let me clarify this. These guys I believe can finish in this order. Okay. And I want to give you a disclaimer here as well. Jamar Gibbs, right? You've got other guys. Tank Bigsby. I think he takes the role there, gets a ton of volume over ATN eventually, right? There's Zach Charbonnet, Walker as well on the Seahawks. Any of these guys could go in the top 10, but as of right now, we're in June now. Early June, this is how I feel it may finish. Again, some of these rookies could really shine based on injuries and things that can happen. But as of right now, this is how it sits, okay? Number 7, Dameon Pierce. Dameon Pierce is sitting 19th on the consensus rankings, okay? This is insane. This guy is a true workhorse running back. He had 220 attempts last year in his rookie year, just under 1,000 yards with 939 yards, 4.3 yards per carry, and only 4 touchdowns. Only 4 touchdowns, meaning that he hasn't scratched the surface. There's more to be had. Now, mind you, young team, rookie quarterback, it's a crazy situation there. But listen, Dameon Pierce is a guy that I absolutely love that you can get in the 3rd round. 3rd round, and you're getting an RB1 that's got big upside, big potential, okay? So Dameon Pierce, love him this year. Got him at number 7. All right, let's move on to number 6 here. Love myself some Breece Hall at number 6. Now, he is sitting 11th on the consensus, on the consensus rankings, which is ludicrous, okay? This is absolutely insane. Breece the Beast should not be sitting at 11th. This guy would easily be a top 5 guy. The only thing that's holding him back from the consensus ranking him high is because of the knee injury, right? That's obvious. But you can get this guy in the second round as part of a robust RB strategy, okay? The guy had, he only played like 7 games last year, 80 attempts, 463 yards, 5.8 yards per carry, 4 touchdowns. This guy can get it done. 19 receptions, 218 yards receiving, and a touchdown receiving. Tons of upside for Breece Hall, who, again, the coaches are saying he is healthy. He's looking good. Saw some video of him. He's moving really, really well. I like him. Now, disclaimer about Breece Hall, okay? He's ultra explosive, super exciting. But here's the thing. If, in fact, you do go Breece Hall, make sure you go Abide Jan or Jonathan Taylor, someone else in round 1, and make sure Breece Hall is your RB2. Don't make, even though Breece Hall could be top 5, again, you don't know right now, but hindsight will say, well, no, he was fine, grabbing him as your RB1. But, I would just say Breece Hall RB2 right now as part of a robust RB strategy where you get, a work. And what is a robust RB strategy? Getting 3 running backs within the first 5 rounds. Now, this year, you don't really have to go robust RB. I recommend you get a wide receiver in the mix here in the first 3 rounds. But if you do go Breece Hall, make sure your first round pick is a running back just to cover yourself because of this injury. And he may not be a full flow 100%, but I believe he will be. He's young, he's talented, everybody heals differently. and he's gonna run angry this year. He's gonna make up for the injury last year. And he 5.8 yards per carry looked really good when he was playing. Breece Hall, number 6, tons of upside, easily could be a top 5 finisher and one of the best running backs in the game. Okay, Breece Hall, when he ran, he glided. He looked amazing. Okay, so I'm excited about him. And again, head coaches are saying he looks really strong, really good. Okay, and I saw the videos, looked really good. Number 5 here, do not draft this guy until the contract is confirmed. Again, repeat. Number 5 is Saquon Barkley. Do not draft until he's got some sort of contract solidified, because he's turning down like $13 million a year. This guy is insane. Saquon Barkley, number 4 in attempts last year, really attractive, 295 attempts, right? And again, 57 receptions, getting it done in the receiving game, 1,300 plus yards, 10 touchdowns. This is a guy that I was telling you, he was outside the top 10 on the consensus. They had DeAndre Swift ahead of him. This is why rankings don't help you. But in 16 rounds, I recommended you draft him as your RB2 in round 2. Saquon Barkley, guys, number 5 here. If he secures a contract, still going to be thriving, still going to be eating, still going to be the volume guy. But again, could he have come off a pinnacle year? Could there be a decline? Things to think about. Now, I liked Saquon better last year when I knew he was due for this type of year, and I knew I can get him in round 2. Now he's sitting number 3 on the consensus rankings. They love him now. They're riding him. They're riding him. Why? Because he finished on top last year. I was telling you to draft him when he was outside the top 10 last year. I still like him. I still think he's a top 10 guy if healthy and if incentivized with a nice lucrative contract. Still like him. But again, I'm not drafting him. There's other guys I like, okay? Number 4 here. If you're at the end of the first round and Byjan and Taylor are gone, you got to go Derrick Henry here. My big question here with Derrick Henry is how much does he have left in the tank? They drafted a rookie, Tajay Spears. He's a workhorse in his own right. But right now, Henry's sitting 9th on the consensus rankings. Again, running backs are coming off fast in round 1. CMC Eckler's coming off. You got Taylor coming off. You got Byjan coming off. Pop. You're at the end of the first round. You want a running back. You may want to consider Derrick Henry, okay? Derrick Henry, again, number 1 in attempts last year, 1,538 yards, 4.4 yards per carry, 13 touchdowns, coming off a pinnacle year. How much does he have left in the tank? He's not a 22-year-old. He's not a 23-year-old. He's a late 20s guy, almost 30. I don't know how old he is, 29, something like that. He's not young, but he is hungry. He's still the guy. They might make a quarterback change there with Levis. It might be totally different. They got Treylon Burks. Is he going to be enough to distract the defenses, Burks, or is everything going to be focused on stacked boxes on Henry this year? Something to look at and monitor. The situation and landscape's a little different in Tennessee. But again, I do like Derrick Henry just simply predicated on volume, but I do see him seeing more stacked boxes. And again, coming off a pinnacle year, will this continue? Can he sustain this? Is this his last hurrah, or do we watch him dwindle off and have a significant decline into the sunset and he fades off this year? That is a big question mark. Again, I liked him better last year, coming off a bounce back year because he had an injury the year before, a slight injury. Coming off, I liked him better last year. Henry round 1, Barkley round 2. Not feeling as warm and fuzzy about these guys this year, okay? Just understand that. I want to make a point, but Derrick Henry number 4 based on situation, right? Again, if you want the optimal players and see how I would roster all these guys, 16-round draft solution, use code SMASH. Link in the bio here under programs at thefantasyfootballcouch.com. Coming in number 3 here, I got Najee Harris. Now, some people may be like, what the heck? This guy's sitting 13th on the consensus rankings. Why do I love him? They drafted one of the top O-line guys in the NFL draft, so they've improved their O-line. Najee Harris was a guy that is a guy that always gets the volume. All he's got to compete with is what? Jalen Warren? That's not competition. Last year had a down year, but was still 5th in attempts with 272. The year before was a top 3 running back in his rookie year, 1,200 yards that year. This year had a bit of a decline. And again, 1,034 yards, still 3.8 yards per carry, very lackluster, okay? But he's working towards a contract year, right? It's his 3rd year. He's got to prove himself this year. I love the coaching. Listen, I love Tomlin. He believes in his guys, okay? Pickett is finally set and integrated into that offense. They drafted a tight end. They drafted an O-line guy, so they've got way more improvements on the front line. Kenny Pickett, again, is into the groove, right? Najee is working towards a contract year, and he is the only workhorse. Now, again, it's scary, the 3.8 yards per carry, the lackluster performance last year. I understand that, but last year they were kind of finding their identity. They brought in Pickens, they brought in Pickett. They were trying to figure things out. They had Mitch Trubisky starting, whoever the first starting quarterback was last year. Pickett didn't really get into the groove. Now Pickett is starting. He's integrated. He's the main guy. It's going to be exciting to see Najee because he's a volume guy. So And the cool thing is the value. You get him as your RB2 after you go Abidjan or Taylor in round 1, okay? Love myself some Najee in round 2. Great opportunity, great talent, great volume, okay? And coming at number 2 here, I've got Jonathan Taylor for a huge bounce back year. Now, I'll tell you the problems with Jonathan Taylor, and that's what I'm doing. I'm laying out all the possible negatives, right? Jacobs coming off a pinnacle year. Breece Hall, knee injury. Saquon Barkley, is he incentivized? Derrick Henry, is he in for his last hurrah? Najee Harris, will he continue, right? You know, with this new O-line, will he thrive or will he still go to lackluster 3.8 yards per carry? I'm giving you guys all of the obstacles and variables surrounding every player. It's up to you guys to make a decision and see what resonates with you and what makes sense. And the knock to Jonathan Taylor, there's only one knock, is that Richardson, the new quarterback, Anthony Richardson, is a running back in his own right. He runs a lot. And Taylor, again, is in a position where there's no competition. All they've got is like Zach Moss there. I'm not really, too concerned about him. Taylor played 11 games, didn't do too well at 4.5 yards per carry, but didn't have the year that he had in 2021, the 18 touchdowns, 1,800 yards. Like, I knew he was going to decline. I didn't know it would be this bad of a decline, right? So Taylor, again, didn't play the whole season, did not perform top 10 level, but this year is a bounce back year, and he is going to crush it. I believe it's a contract year as well. Taylor is in a prime position. No committee, contract year, big upside. Jonathan Taylor, love him. That's why I got him at number 2. Okay, this is huge. All right. And number 1 here, it's a huge risk, but Bijan Robinson, number 1. And you ask yourself, why? Why would you put a rookie at 1? Well, arguably, he's one of the most physically talented players in the NFL. I mean, he hasn't played a game in the NFL, but now he's in the NFL. But he's amazing. 6 foot, 215 pounds. Last year in college, 258 attempts, 1,580 yards, 6.1 yards per carry, 18 touchdowns on the ground. Dynamic, great vision, explosive, breakaway speed. He's got it all. He can catch the ball in the backfield, and is in a situation where there's no committee. Now, Algier could have been a workhorse in his own right, but he was a product of the offense last year, got the volume. And if this volume, which it should go to Bijan. Why? Because he was an 8th overall pick, first round. Falcons believe in him. He is going to eat. We're looking at 200 plus attempts as a floor, even if they integrate Algier. 200 plus attempts. You're looking for a ton of receptions. They're going to use him all around the field. Cordell Patterson was a receiver coming in the league. He's lackluster. They got a true workhorse, and if they want to win, they got to play their best player, and that is Bijan. You don't spend a first overall pick, 8th overall, whatever he was, on a guy that you're going to bench. Okay, so opportunity, youth, cutting system, consistency. Is he consistent? We don't know. But we know he's going to get a lot of volume, so that could equal consistency. Is there upside? Heck yes, tons of upside. Is he durable? Knock on wood, yeah, he's going in healthy. Depth chart, is he high on the depth chart? Yes. And is he young? Youth, yes. He fits pretty much all 5 steps of the cutting system. And I'm telling you guys, I'm excited about Bijan. Love the upside, love the youth, love the talent, and I love him as a person. He looks like a great character. And again, he's very strong in his faith. And I'm telling you, man, I got a good feeling about this guy. Bijan at number 1, right? You got to take a look at what's trending up, what's trending down. I look at CMC. I visualize a downward slope, Eckler, downward slope coming off these pinnacle years. I look at Bijan. I look at this upwards trend, young, hungry, coming in, way better talented than those guys. And again, I'm just excited about it. I got him number 1, okay? And don't feel bad. Don't feel scared, right? It's your first overall pick, but that is not going to dictate your team. You need a balanced roster with the right quarterback, the right upside sleepers, the breakaway guys, the breakouts. You're going to have a balanced roster, and you do that with the 16-round draft. So make sure you guys secure it below. Use code SMASH to save. And again, guys, drop a name below. Which running back do you like in round 1 and 2? And love to get your feedback on that, all right? Subscribe, smash thumbs up. And again, share this video, not necessarily with your league mates, but with friends. I want to get the message up because the truth is here. This is not consensus. I do things that everybody else does not do, and that's how you win, right? You stray away from the sheepsheets and the consensus, all right? Subscribe, thumbs up, get 16 rounds. And remember, guys, enhance that draft experience. Head on over right now, guys, to fandraft.com/FFC. That's Fantasy Football Counselor. Use code FFC10 and go secure the pro account and enhance your draft experience. All right, fandraft.com, code FFC10 is the code. All right, guys, we'll talk soon, guys. I appreciate you. I'm out.